J-Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through as always. Got a few things I want to get into. It's been it seems it always come in threes as well, but it's been a few tragic passing of public figures. I don't necessarily people say celebrity. I mean, it is what it is, but people we all are familiar with and they work and things. And unfortunately, it seems that it may be some mysterious circumstances going on with these people and what happened when they met their final demise. Unfortunately, we have three people that seem to pass. Of course, they had nothing to do with each other in their passing, but we have Gene Hackman, who had a legendary acting and film career, passed away, and he was 95 years old, which, he's been around a while. But it seems that it was a very mysterious what happened in his final moments, because his wife, who was younger than him, also passed away at the same time as him. And so we'll get a little bit into that. Some think because they did a preliminary test and said that it wasn't carbon monoxide poisoning. So, I'll read into that article a little bit more. It's a few articles came up about Gene Hackman. I got a couple saved. Roberta Flack passed away. I think that was under natural causes, from what I'm pretty sure. When I read that, I don't remember anything offhand. I had to redo that. So much stuff happened. I got so many other stories I want to cover, but these may be the only ones today. And Angie Stone, tragic passing, car accident. Me almost dying in a car accident myself. I am a little sensitive to those things. And dang, it's kind of sad that how she passed after the awards and different things. And we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Let me go ahead and say what's up to my people in the comments. I appreciate y'all. And then also I want to talk about, I'm gonna have a new co-host, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about that co-host in a second. Ambi Bambi, what's good, mama? How you doing? I appreciate you for coming through as always, sis. Suburbia Jones, what's good, fam? What's good with you? All of y'all, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all come here when it ain't just power, which, hey, I appreciate the love and support. I got a few things I'm working on that's about to make things a little spicy and, keep things moving. Dame Dollar, what's good, my brother? How you feeling? Rashonda, my girl, how you doing, sis? I hope all is well with you. You say Damian Kinney, Gene Hackman and his wife were found in different parts of their home. Exactly. Which makes this, and their dog, one of their dogs were passed away, which is very mysterious, to say the least. So let's kick it off with Gene Hackman. On TMZ, they got a bunch of articles up about Gene Hackman. Of course, a lot of things about the Oscars that are going on tonight. I actually believe the Oscars are tonight. And also, let me know, what roles do you remember from Gene Hackman, if any? Did he make anything that was inspiring or that was influential and memorable to you? Off the top, I can name a couple of them. Bat 21. I know a lot of people ain't gonna, pull that one out their hat. But I remember watching Bat 21, Bat 21. My dad had rented it and I ended up watching it. He was a down pilot trying to survive and things. I remember thinking, this old dude, but it was a good movie. He made a lot of them. Of course, Unforgiven. I mean, Unforgiven was good. although his part wasn't bad, it wasn't the star of the show. It was Eastwood and what you call it, Morgan Freeman that did it for me in Unforgiven. But you know, anyway, he was a good actor nonetheless. All right, so it says they had multiple medications. I mean, he's 95 years old. All right, it says Gene Hackman died February 17th. Officials believe more than a week before he was found. All right, so it says, and now that might go with the reports of somebody had a welfare check because they hadn't heard from him, and that's how they were found. It says here Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa, they were found dead in their New Mexico home for a week and a half before he was found. It says Sheriff Adam Mendoza led the news conference and said that it was labeled suspicious. Says Hackman's pacemaker. You know, people with pacemakers now, you got data. But it says that its last event on February 17th, which then the pacemaker company should have wondered, well, what's going on? It ain't working no more. They should have did something, but they didn't. Indicated that when it stopped and when he died. Mendoza said autopsies and toxicology reports were pending, but he said both individuals tested negative for carbon monoxide. You would have thought the pacemaker people, as soon as it went offline, would have sent to ambulance. You would hope. Mendoza's laying out the timeline of events, explaining how officers discovered Hackman and Arakawa and their dog deceased in the home. Animal control got involved to ensure the two living dogs who appeared healthy were kept safe. So 2 dogs were alive, 1 wasn't. Mendoza says there were no surveillance cameras inside or outside the residence that could aid officers' investigation, and they're working to determine when Gene or Betsy last contacted anyone. And it says that they were found dead in their home Wednesday afternoon after a caretaker of their neighborhood dialed 911 to report seeing a body in the couple's house. And that's when they did the welfare check. The caller was incredibly emotional, and when first responders arrived, they found Hackman and his wife and dog unresponsive. It says cops are looking into it as suspicious. But this is kind of old because the newest update is that it wasn't carbon monoxide. It's saying they won't rule it out, but that's all been proven not to be the case. Where I'm gonna have to go to the one that I have. Okay, let's see. Step by step. Is this what let's see. Is this what I just read? Yeah. Uh, it says TMZ paramedics. Well, it says Brian Moyer told TMZ paramedics responded to a man down call from Gene's address Wednesday with a fire engine and an ambulance and rushed in through the unlocked front door. So their front door was unlocked. This is his home. This was a nice home as well. Wondering who, if anything, or what could have happened. It says that they found Betsy right away on the floor of a bathroom near the front door. Their team is trained to spot obvious signs of death. It was clear she had passed, so no resuscitation efforts were made. EMS workers immediately stepped back, waiting for sheriff deputies to arrive and take over the scene. Moyer tells us when deputies showed up, they did a full sweep of the massive house. He says it took them a while before they eventually found Gene in the mudroom kitchen. Moyer said Gene was obviously dead too, so no resuscitation efforts were performed. Moyer said paramedics were not aware of pills later found near Betsy's body or the dead dog in the closet of the bathroom. Huh. And there wasn't anything unusual other than the bodies. When Moya's team arrived, they tested the environment for toxic fume, but meters indicated the area was safe. Nothing came up as carbon monoxide, so they proceeded to walk around inside the home. Plus, if two dogs were still alive, it couldn't have been carbon monoxide because, plus, the one deceased dog was in the closet, which means somebody did that. Dogs don't open the closet door and get in there and go play hide and go sneak. You know what I mean? So I don't know what that is. It says they performed another check of the home on Thursday, as well as the gas company, and they said it was safe, and all that info was handed over. It says Santa Fe County Sheriff told today this morning the couple may have been dead for days, even weeks. So as of now, nothing has been ruled out. Anyway, my speculation is it was some type of foul play. And I'm going to go out, just my thoughts and opinions, ain't no facts. But either she did something, murder, suicide, or somebody did something. And I'm thinking maybe she might have did it because if the dog was found, did I just read the dog was found in the bathroom with her in the closet? So that might have been her favorite little dog or something. Maybe, I don't know, put it in there. Who knows? But I definitely think that this is some type of foul play. And she was much younger than him. It's so hard for a person to die at the same time as another person naturally. You know, that is just so hard um, to happen. Maybe he passed, and then she was so depressed that maybe she took her own self out the game. Maybe, uh, some cultures and certain people, especially Asian cultures and the women, maybe they could feel that way. I don't know. She was old school. I wouldn't put it past her, but I don't know, man. I just don't see this happening under normal circumstances. You all let me know in the comments what you think. Stephen Harris, what's good with you? How you feeling? What's up? What's up? Suburbia Jones, that scene where Clint Eastwood said, "Bury Ned," right? Oh yeah. You talking about an Unforgiven? Yeah, Bury Ned, right? Yeah, that was a good movie, man. Gene Hackman, he went through a hell of a career. He didn't get into acting until later in his life, and he was able to do a lot of things. He lived a hell of a life. He also wrote a couple of books and things as well. And Gene Hackman, man, it's not a lot of people like him. It's like a renaissance man, able to do a lot of things pretty good in a lot of different categories and things. And he wasn't a square necessarily. I mean, he drank, smoked, partied, or whatever, still lived to be 95 years old. uh his life, you never know, man. You never know. There's a couple crackheads out here that's in their 70s still. People that live their life, try to be healthy, and got taken out for the damnedest of reasons. So, you know, that's the one thing that always messes with me a little bit about life, is that I was trying to do the right things in life and try to eat healthy and do certain things and take care of my kids and pay my bills the best I could, and one car accident and that could throw away everything. It'll change up all your plans and things. So I'm not to say don't make a plan, or that YOLO stuff, but hey, life is fragile, and anything can happen at any time. And we take a lot for granted. The most valuable thing is your life, your body, because you can't go buy another one. And if anything happened to you, you'll do anything you can to get better. Go to any doctor or get whatever surgery, if that's what's going to help and make you better. That's what you would do. So You know, we don't value or we take for granted, and we always say, well, no, but we do. Not to say wear it on your chest that you feel good every day, but we should take it more a value in these things. Sometimes we don't value our health till we sick or hurt, you know. So and that's what's sad about Angie Stone in the car accident. That's just so sad. You know, a lot of us don't think about it, but you know, the human body's not meant to move fast. You ain't supposed to move faster than you can run, and even running, if you trip, running full speed, you'll mess yourself up. Straight up. Run as fast as you can and trip and fall. And don't put your hands out to stop the ground from coming up at you. You're gonna mess yourself up. So like all riding horses, all these things, our body's not made to move these speeds, and we get broke up. Straight up. Damien Kinney, you say it's been hypothesized that Angie Stone was pursuing her publishing and royalties. Now she has passed, the only person to pass from the accident. Oh, conspiracy. Y'all know I love some good conspiracy theories, but at a certain point, the world we live in, it's everything is a conspiracy theory now. We don't know what to believe, what not to believe. Is it true? Is it not true? It's very hard out here nowadays to know something. Young Slim, what up, fam? Yeah, man, it is really, really hard to know something. What's up and what's right. Let me look into that Angie Stone for a second. I'm gonna get to these comments, and then uh, let me pull up Angie Stone. But damn, you know that is interesting, isn't it? I mean, but you can always, like I say one thing to another, add one thing to another. But when you have a shady industry, anything that happens to anybody in that industry automatically looks suspicious. But let's see. Suburbia Jones, The French Connection. That's old school right there. That's probably his best movie he ever made. I only saw it once, and to be honest with you, when I saw those movies, like 70s movies, like The French Connection or a Steve McQueen type movie, I didn't like those movies as a kid. In the 80s, I didn't like those 70s movies because I was programmed. Looking back at myself now, I was programmed into 80s. So if you wasn't swole like Arnold or Stallone, how you kicking ass? You know what I mean? Like, how you running? You ain't tired? You old. Like, if you didn't have muscles or look good while you was kicking ass or no karate as a child, because I was born in 78. So 88, I was just 10 years old. So up until 88, I was just 10 years old. Anything up until there, like, they needed to have the look more than anything, more than the script, really. I didn't know about no damn script. Blowing people up, they know how to fight, they know karate, they got muscles. Okay, it's a winner. Looking back at it now, I appreciate the movies from the 70s more. They hold, well, I can't say all, because some of them corny. Watch it, Jack. You know, that was just so corny with fights. But like regular movies, like with the car chase scenes and stuff like that, or just some of the way the things was held, it kind of holds up better than the big hair, steroided out military dudes killing everybody and walking away. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. You know, that actually doesn't hold up as well, you know. So it kind of reversed. Most 80s movies do not hold up, honestly. I like them still, but that's because I laugh at them and it brings nostalgia. Just like I love to watch Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger And then when he fighting Bill Duke, I used to eat green berets for breakfast. You know, that this is the corny ass lines. Hey, I eat you for breakfast. You gonna eat me for breakfast? Oh, okay. Young Slim, Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide was a good one. That's a real good one. A lot of people forget about that. The Hunt for Red October and Crimson Tide is two good ones. Those are two real good movies. Submarine. Bambi, what's good, sis? How you doing? Hope all is well with you. B, what's good, sis? How you been? Hope everything been good with you. Ain't heard from you in a minute. Hope everything working out with you. Let's see, Young Suburbia Jones. You say Young Slim co-starring Denzel Washington. You talking about Crimson Tide? Yeah. Damian Kenny, Prince the artist, was on the verge of gaining his publishing rights before his passing. You know, it's a things about Prince that I'm a little confused on. Like, he didn't even write a will. Now, he wasn't that old. I think Prince was only 50 when he died, which, you know, I'm getting up there. I'm thinking he ain't that old. But he should have had a will written. He should have had something prepared, make his place a museum or have his music into a trust fund or do something. He got a vault of music that's never been released. Who gets it? Will it ever be released? I don't know, man. His business, he was smart in the sense of knowing, like when he wrote slave on his face, although it was more of a industry slave. And when you say things like that, it can be hyperbole. But anyway, it was getting the attention. He was one of the first major artists to bring attention to the way the music business is ran, has its problems. As a business person, I can see both sides of the coin, and it's not fair. Either way, somebody can claim not fair. But as an artist, you want to have ownership of what you do. But most artists are broke and they need the industry, especially back then, to put their projects out. And then the industry, they're not artists. They got money, but they're not artists. So how do they know what is going to be good? They hire executives and A&Rs and people that's supposed to tell them if it's good or not, but they don't know. Really, nobody knows until it's out. And so, say I spend $1 million putting you out and it doesn't sell nothing, and I make $2. And then I spend $1 million putting this person out and they make 100 million. Now, of course, they want they 100 million. But I could say, well, I put out 100 other artists that didn't make no money, and you the only one made money. So this is part of my business and investment to try to fund as many as I can, because I don't know nothing about music and art. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just got money and I'm trying to invest it to make more money. And this is what I'm choosing to do. And now that you made the 100 million, it's time for me to get my 50 million back and then put 50 in my pocket. Well, the artist that made 100 is like, I don't give a damn that none of those other people made money. That's your fault. Do your job better. And then they're like, if I did my job better, I might not have gave you a spot. In the end, it's a big headache, which is probably why that model is collapsing and why people go straight to streaming. But then there's also problems with that, because now anybody can throw anything out there and stream it. So now you got to cut through the noise of millions of people, and which means you end up paying back into the industry so that you can get the advertising and publicity you need so that your product is seen, even though anybody can put something out for free. How many people got stuff out for free that don't nobody hear? So then you right back into the same thing again. You know, the industry is smart. They got lawyers. They got good lawyers. Just like when they've been under attack a few times, like when Napster came out. I was in college when that happened, and I was in my dorm room downloading all the new stuff when it was coming out. I was never going to buy another CD again. Truthfully, I probably only bought probably under 10 CDs after that point in the year 2000. I probably bought 10 CDs the rest of my life. Now, I bought more, but that's me going back and finding stuff that I missed. Anyway, they was finding a way at first to try to stop streaming. eventually they just ended up accepting streaming and finding ways to make money off of it, whether you paying subscriptions or whatever the case. Anyway, it's a dirty game out there, man. I don't know how to, same thing with what's going on with the government. Did you see that they are talking about? You can't even make this stuff up, man. This is such an obvious hijacking of the government. They just said to cease offensive cyber uh weaponing or whatever, cyber attacks against Russia. So I guess we're gonna let Russia do their thing. It's a lot, man. I wanted to stick to these three topics today because if I start talking about the politics and stuff, boy, oh my goodness. That right there, boy, you talk about the corruption is obvious. Anyway, let's see. Damian Kenny, Prince Estate family sold some of his catalog. Yeah, I heard that they like his what? Because he had what? Brothers or sisters or family, but they weren't even close. I heard they were somewhat estranged, but hey, it is what it is. I think they did get some of the stuff and sell it, of course, because like what they gonna do with it? And I would have released it and said, it's me. This me. Hee hee. That wasn't even Prince. That was Michael. They would have been like, you don't even know who you copying from. Lori, you're right. It is a gamble. It's a gamble. And it's the same thing with like this industry. For example, I can be trying to do all this podcast or comedy and things like that. But I'm fighting for your attention, like, and not just me, everybody, like everything is fighting for your attention. With this phone, it could be news articles, games, PlayStation, porn, your family, you got cable TV, direct TV, Netflix. You can go on demand and see anything. You can go on YouTube, Spotify, see all of these things, listen to all these stuff, Apple Music. I mean, it's very hard to cut through the noise to be a household name or even be known. And without the mainstream, it's fractured. Everybody has their own algorithm, their own little ecosystem, their own celebrities and niches and things. And it is what it is. You just got to make the most of it. And also, when I first started doing this, it wasn't so expensive. It's expensive to run a podcast and a streaming. I got to pay for the streaming service. I got to pay for all of these different apps and things. You got to pay for all of these YouTube services and things. You got to pay for the Facebook services. You got to pay for the Instagram, the TikTok, and wow. It is really, really expensive. The equipment and everything, it gets up there. It gets up there, whereas when I first started this stuff, it wasn't anything. It wasn't charging to go live and things like that. So, I pay $50 a month just to use StreamYard. So, all of this stuff adds up. Big Bird, what's good with you, fam? What's good with you? Hi, Young Slim, Rick James versus Prince. Who you got? I got Rick James. Well, truthfully, Prince got Rick James by a long shot. Now, it depends on the sound. Rick James, I actually like Rick James' music a little better, and it holds up to me. But Rick James didn't have the longevity or the catalog. Now, Rick James did produce for a lot of people that maybe people don't realize, and maybe they don't know, like the Mary Jane Girls or whatever things. He wrote those songs, Mary Jane, anyway, maybe people do know that. But overall, come on, man, it's Prince. I thought you was going to say Prince or Mike. That's normally what people say, because Prince was the closest to Michael Jackson that anybody's ever been. And in a way, he actually surpassed Michael Jackson in talent, because Prince could dance and sing, but then he could play so many different instruments that Michael Jackson just didn't play. Michael Jackson didn't play instruments. I think Michael Jackson could play the piano, but that's it. Let me know in the comments if Michael Jackson could play other instruments or if he could even play the piano. But uh, you know, that's the thing. Prince talent wise, but then again, what's talent? Because you learned how to play these things. If Michael Jackson put in the work or wanted to, I'm sure he could have learned those things. So because you did doesn't mean that the other person is not able to, because they didn't. Maybe that just wasn't his interest or his focus. I mean, he really didn't need to. He could just hire the band that he wanted. So, but if you had the passion for that, then that's different. Anyway, I would say Prince is the closest to Mike. Michael Jackson is probably the most famous person in the history of mankind since Jesus and Elvis. It's been a few famous people, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, but Michael Jackson to be famous pretty much his entire life since with the Jackson 5 to grow to where he was, and it was almost no place on earth he could go without him being visually recognizable, you know, whereas you could say a Gandhi or MLK weren't in those type of settings, they didn't travel to do that type of thing, and the machine wasn't behind them like a Michael Jackson maybe, but I would say as a living person in the modern world, yeah, Michael Jackson's probably the most famous person ever lived. Michael Jordan is one of the most famous people, but there's some people that don't know what Michael Jordan looked like or who he is, and I don't think that was out there for Mike too much. Suburbia Jones, OBS be lagging and crashing. I used to use OBS when I first started going live for the first few years. Actually, I used OBS, and it's just so many damn problems and complications, and it would crash or lag, and then I had to do this or do that, and it was way more complicated than necessary. Now it's been years since I've looked and used it, so maybe they've improved, but OBS wasn't better. It wasn't better at the time to me. All right, let's see. Angie Stone. Sad situation with Angie Stone. And also, I wanted to talk about Pee Wee Herman too. Missy Vaughn passed away too from Pee Wee Herman. How many of you all used to watch Pee Wee Playhouse? Missy Vaughn, that's Missy Vaughn. Hi, Missy Vaughn. Uh, you know, I used to look at Pee Wee Playhouse. I was a kid, of course, and like I say, I was 10 years old when that came out in 87, 88. Anyway, I remember as a kid, Missy Vaughn, uh, I was thinking that she was younger or cute. I ain't tried to diss the woman or whatever. But looking back, this woman was old. She was older than Pee Wee in that show. And I remember as a kid thinking Pee Wee is not old. Like I remember thinking Pee Wee is like maybe 20 as a kid. Actually, I never thought like I never remember thinking, I wonder how old Pee Wee is. I never remember thinking that as a kid or that crossing my mind. But I don't remember thinking he's an adult, but I don't remember thinking he was a kid. I knew he wasn't a teenager. I just thought he was, I don't know. It's like a weird place in my mind looking back at it. I didn't think he was a kid, but he did kind of feel like one of us. But then again, I knew he wasn't. But Missy Vaughn, I remember as a kid, she used to want to go out with him or kiss him and stuff, and he never would. And we'd be like, man, what's your problem? But looking at it now as an adult, I'm like, wow, this woman was a lot older than I remember on that show. And she didn't even look like she should even be with Pee Wee. She looked like she could have been his mama. Lynn Marie Stewart, Missy Vaughn. And that's another thing. I used to think of her name as Missy, Missy Vaughn. It shows as a kid. I guess I didn't know what I was doing. Oh man, now it ain't letting me. See, that's one of the things I don't like on some of these articles is that I can have them on one device, but then when I go to the next device, they want you to pay for these damn. I guess news companies really are struggling and they need you to pay to read these articles and stuff. So they'll let you read it one time and then that's about it. But let me see what's her name. I'll type it right quick. Lynn Marie Stewart. Lynn Marie Stewart, and then I do Angie Stone. And you know, the thing is, man, one of the things about life is you got to try to leave your mark, whatever it may be. Everybody's mark is not going to be left on film or audio or something like that. But it could be with your family or friends or whatever. But a lot of us we get forgotten. And one of the things that first made me realize that is when I was in California, my uncle did like a genealogy of our family. And when I was looking at all this stuff and he telling us about somebody that fought in the Civil War and this and that, and I'm thinking, I don't know these people at all. Like if he didn't find this and look this up and find it, which he don't really know him, he's read this, found that, this and that. But like, man, we get lost to history. We get lost to history. Time goes on and people too busy with the problems of the day. And, you go back grandparents or great great grandparents and don't nobody remember you no more. So, not that you got to be remembered forever or this or that, but oh my goodness. We want to try to leave a mark at least, let somebody know, hey, I was here, I did this, I did that, hey, I tried this, I won the whatever, leave a mark. Let somebody know in the future generations, hey, I was here, I did this, I did that, I counted, damn it. Whatever it was. Anyway, enough of that. Lynn Marie Stewart, dead at 78, which that's the same age as my daddy. And shout out to my mama who just had a birthday and turned 88 years old, still alive and well. She probably outlived me, to be honest with you. Uh, just one of the strongest people I never came across. But it says that she had just wrapped Ben Stiller's upcoming film, The Dink, as well as kept working on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She was the most talented and funny and honorable person I ever known. That's what uh, Betty Smith, her manager, told her. And so it says Cassandra Peterson, who's Elvira, if most people know Elvira, she said, my heart is breaking upon hearing the news of my dear friend Lynn Stewart's passing, one of the kindest, sweetest, funniest women who ever lived. Miss Yvonne of Pee Wee's Playhouse. She'll always be the most beautiful woman in Puppet Land. Puppet Land. Elvira, I had to give it to Elvira. She's still hanging in there. She still look good to be Elvira for 50 years. But here's Miss Yvonne. And I remember she used to wear this. I didn't never this show is so weird. I mean, he had a talking chair, Cherry. Cherry. So I didn't really get this 1950s as being so out of place. I guess he dressed like he was in the 1950s as well. That's when America was great, making America great again. But this is so out of place with this. And in his big top Pee Wee or something, he had a girlfriend that used to dress or wear her hair like this or something. But Miss Yvonne, she was in her 40s when she was filming this in Pee Wee's Playhouse. And you know, I had to give it to her, you know. Reinvent yourself, keep working, make things happen, you never give up. And Miss Yvonne, I had to give a honorable mention, shout out, rest in peace. Sorry about that. As well as Tiger's mom passed away as well. I don't know if many people know about the rapper Tiger, but his mama passed away, who looked younger than me. She was a good looking woman. And it says that she died last month. And it says her name was Passionate Gwen. Oh, look at that. She was a cutie. And unfortunately, no cause of death has been reported. But Tiger Mama and Biggie Mama died at the same week, which, you know, is very sad. And then he had this picture of her holding her hand at her passing. It's someone else I know that took a picture of that and sent it to me when they loved one was passing. So I didn't know about that type of picture is something that's common, I guess, when someone's passing. Anybody out there a fan of House Party, the first House Party? Remember Groove, the one that was originally dancing and then he passed out drunk, and so Kid had to step in with play and battle the two girls in the dance. Groove was the drunk one that they had to carry back home and leave at the door. And then when the mama opened the door, he fell out on the floor. Well, he passed away at the age of 62. Gene Groove Allen passed away at the age of 62. He was in House Party and What's Love Got to Do with It. And, you know, it's very sad and unfortunate. He passed away in Maryland as a result of a medical emergency, it says. And it was a complete shock to the family, they said. And they don't expect any foul play, though. So, you know, he actually was in a rap group, the trio Groove Be Chill, which was with Daryl Chill Mitchell, who was injured in a car accident and now use a wheelchair. He on that NCIS show. He was also in House Party. As one of his party, he was wearing the little hat and the little tight little black little suspender short set. Chill. And he one kept bumping the damn DJ table with Martin and Eric B. The group appeared in the 1990 movie House Party. Now, this ain't Eric B from Eric B and Rakim. I don't know who this Eric B is offhand. But yeah, man, they had a better film career than music career. And then they said he was the club announcer in What's Love Got to Do with It. So anyway, they got a new documentary, Saving Wendy, on Tubi. They need to stop. But yeah, man, it's been a lot going on lately, man. A lot of people we've been losing, which, you know, we just gotta appreciate the people when we hear get these flowers. We be too quick to move on or throw somebody away for no good reason. And you know, we gotta move on with that, man. We gotta appreciate our folks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ambi, that's messed up. Lori, it is sad. Uh Amber, you say Chris Jasper from the Isley Brothers also passed away. Yeah, we losing these legends. You ain't lying. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, Daryl kept on bumping the table. I'm surprised Martin ain't part his head with one of them records like George Clinton did in the second one. Martin ain't want that smoke. All right, let me get back to Angie Stone. That was a nice little sidestep. So Angie Stone, let me finish pulling it up. I don't want to say nothing incorrect. But she was killed in a car accident after leaving, I believe, what was it, a party, Grammy party? And she was only 63 years old. Now, a lot of people that may be young watching this channel may be thinking when I'm saying only. But let me tell you something, with the way things are going today and medicine and things, you won't feel that bad. You take care of yourself. When you're 63, you won't feel old. You won't be looking like Fred Sanford. Do you know, speaking of that, Sanford and Son, do you know Fred Sanford in that show was only like 46, 45? All my life, I used to think, well, I knew he wasn't that old after, he ain't lived to be but 70 something, but I used to think he was 70 in that show. Sanford and Son, you would think he's 75 years old. This dude was 45. I think he's younger than me today. Anyway, that's just insane. Angie Stone. So, oh my goodness, Elon Musk just had his 14th child. He just had his 13th child. How is he getting all these women pregnant and working all these places and doing all these business? How is he and tweeting all the time? How he got time for this? What, he just jizz it in the jar and mailing it to him? FedEx delivery? It says TMZ has video capturing the aftermath of the crash that killed Angie Stone and injured 8 others. Damn. Of course, it don't want to load. It says that she was a part of the hip hop trio, The Sequence. I never heard of The Sequence. What? I always know Angie Stone as a solo artist. I never heard of her as a member of the iconic hip hop trio, The Sequence. What? How long did that last? Because I never heard of this. Nah, don't get me wrong. I wasn't necessarily a super fan, but I never heard of anything other than Angie Stone. It says her late rep told TMZ that she left a performance in Montgomery, Alabama early Saturday morning when she was killed in a car crash. Stone was one of 9 people in the van, which included her crew and backup singers, when the van was crashed on I-65 in Montgomery County. She was the only fatality. 9 people in the van. Where was she sitting? In the front seat? Angie was traveling from a performance at Mobile Area Mardi Gras Association Grand Marshal Ball. That's a mouthful. Mobile Area Mardi Gras Grand Association Marshal Ball. To another performance. She was getting it in. To another performance at the CIAA basketball tournament in Baltimore when the crash occurred. What? Damn, she was in Mobile, Alabama, and she's about to drive all the way to Baltimore. Why she ain't getting on a plane? She got all these 9 people. That's 9 plane tickets. Man, what? Deborah tells us I would get on a plane and I see the rest of y'all 8 in a week. In a couple of days. That's how it go. I'm the star. Y'all ain't. I'm going to get on the plane and I see y'all when you get there. Good luck on that plane. I know, right? The way the planes is going. Say Deborah tells us she just spoke to Angie last night and the news had rocked and devastated friends and family. That's the one thing humans don't understand. They be like, I just spoke to them last night. That's normally how it goes. Normally somebody was alive the day before and then they not. So if you saw them the day before, you would have talked to them. You would have known. People love to be, I just talked to them. How could they die? My words kept them alive. Our conversation was water for life. How did they die? You having to talk to them ain't got nothing to do with it. I just talked to him. How he get in a car accident? Cause you wasn't behind the wheel. Anyway, Angie rose to fame as a member of the Sequence, the first all-female group signed to Sugar Hill Records. Well, that ain't saying much. Who is Sugar Hill Records? They was the first all-female group ever to Penny Low Records. Who? Penny Low Records. We've been around since 1999. The group dropped 3 albums. Damn, I'm just sounding stupid, right? During their time together between 79 and 85. No wonder. This is, I was 6 years old. And dropped their song Funk You Up, which has been sampled in numerous other tracks over the years, like Bruno Mars, Uptown Funk, and Dr. Dre's Keep the Heads Ringing. Ring, ding, dong. So what they got that doom, boom, 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 boom. That sounds just like it, don't it? It say she embarked on her solo career in the late 90s. That's when I first heard of her. I didn't even know anything about this 7985, to be honest with you. Said her debut album, Black Diamond, went gold in the US. 2 years later, she released Wish I Didn't Miss You, one of her most popular songs ever. Angie later made the jump to film, appearing in movies like The Hot Chick and the Kevin Hart comedy Ride Along. She was in Ride Along? The Hot Chick. What she was doing in that? We last caught up to Angie in 2018. She talked about younger artists needing to show some respect to previous generation. Hey, we have reached out to Montgomery authorities for more information on the crash. Angie survived by her son Michael, daughter Diamond, and 2 grandkids. She was 63 years old. She was still looking good, hanging in there. Damn, man. You know, accidents are probably the worst way to go out because you don't have any preparation time. You wasn't expecting it. And not to say it's any way to prepare, to die, but in a way it is kind of a way, your mind start to get prepared when people are sick or going through things and it's coming, or they old and falling around and things. You kind of have time to prepare, whereas you think everything is fine and then boop, they gone. That's very shocking and hard to the system, and I think that's what hurts us the most when something like that happens. you know and B, you say, what's your favorite Angie Stone song? Yeah, you all let me know what's your favorite Angie Stone song in the comments. You say your favorite song is I Want to Thank You with Snoop, Dinosaur, and Remy Red. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. Um, Honestly, I was so hip hop growing up. Like, I'm the first generation of hip hop. So like when we grew up and listened to it, everything was the first rap this, the first rappers, first Run DMC, first this, first that. Everything was new. Breakdance. I grew up breakdance, the graffiti, the rhymes, the clothes, the 5 tenets of hip hop. We didn't know what it was. That's just what we did. That's how we lived. So I used to write raps and all of that growing up and things as a kid and all of that and stuff, and not today where everybody think they a rapper for money. No, we wrote raps just for the fun of it. There was no future. We didn't think we'll be famous rappers and things. It was fun. We liked it. Anyway, I didn't really listen to music like R&B and stuff until I was dating women, teenage years, and then you trying to get your freak on and you want to play something. You can't play Dr. Dre all the damn time. So that's when I started to soften up. And it was right at that time R. Kelly came out, and he was like my very first real R&B, musician that I really related to and stuff. My first slow dance was what? Hey Mr. DJ. Hey Mr. DJ. I sound just like him, don't I? Probably how he sound right now today. But I remember doing dances and all that stuff. So, you know, Angie Stone was cool and all of that. Don't get me wrong, but I was always more into the hip hop. And then as I got older and dealing with ladies and things more, I kind of got into that. So, you know, you said they say she died on her son's birthday. That's horrible. That means that he'll always be reminded of that on that day. Not to say that's my birthday. Now you ruined it. But you don't want those type of things happening on those type of days. It's just very hard for people to deal with, and you don't want to put those type of situations on you. Well, ain't like you chose it, but most people would rather have those days separate, to say the least. And lastly, before we get up out of here, Roberta Flack died a few days ago. Also, the "Killing Me Softly" legend. That's when I first heard of her, when they redid it with the Fugees, and I'm like, oh, this is Roberta Flack remake. Okay, that's when a lot of those in the 90s, the mid to 90s, everybody started getting to remake a bunch of stuff from the 70s and 80s, and then I started going back and hearing it like, oh, okay. But yeah, this "Killing Me Softly," that was one of the ones that really got me there. Roberta Flack, 88 years old, same age as my mama. Same age as my mom. She's lived a long, healthy, beautiful life. One thing I always, I know my mom 88, so every day is a blessing. Every day is a blessing. Roberta Flack, OG, still looking good, man. People of that day and that generation, they took pride in themselves and their appearance and held themselves together. You know, she came out in the 70s with "The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face." I remember Old Dirty Bastard remixed it. "The first time ever you sucked my..." Old Dirty Bastard, I tell you. Anyway, of course, she came out with "Killing Me Softly," which, the Fugees redid, and many other songs and things. And it says her cause of death was not released. But, it says in 2018, she had to leave the Apollo Theater stage during a performance early due to illness, and her management later revealed she suffered a stroke years before. In 2022, a rep announced that she was diagnosed with ALS, which, for those not familiar, is the Lou Gehrig's disease. And, unfortunately, Miss Roberta Flack has passed away. So, gone but not forgotten, and that's the thing. We all will be gone, but we don't want to be forgotten. You know what I mean? You got to be remembered, not necessarily as a star, but remembered by family, friends, loved ones, and keep that memory going. You know what I mean? Hey, this is what such and such used to do. Such and such used to laugh at this, do that. Pay it forward. Keep it going. So anyway, that's it for this week. But before I go, Raising Canaan is coming back this Friday. I'm going to try to do a couple more videos about Raising Canaan this week, preparing everybody for this new return for the show, Gangster in Paradise, aka Unique, back with a vengeance. He about to go ahead and let them know who's boss. I might have this crack on my head, but I ain't no crackhead. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to come get revenge. I think he blaming Rock for a lot of this stuff as well. She did benefit the most from his absence, it seems. And I'll be looking forward to seeing how it all work out. Ambi Bambi, you sent me a cash app. I see it now. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. Definitely. And I got it. Thank you. I normally turn my ringer off when I'm doing a live, so that's why I didn't react when you sent it. But thank you so much. I appreciate it, and definitely to the Cash App, because YouTube take 30%, but that's the cost of doing business, so I don't ever trip. But I wasn't expecting that, so I'm gonna give you a little something unexpected. Here you go, sis. Woo! Take it off that girl. You gonna give me a little something. I'm gonna give you something. Boom, bye. One more for the road, and then bop. You ain't know I still had it in me, did you? I appreciate all the love and support. Oh, and I got a new co-host. that I'm working with, and it's AI. I've been working with this AI program, and I got a couple things I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this, but I can have it set up with the AI co-host and then talk to it like a co-host about what's happening and then get its reactions and things. I'm wondering if I'll be able to use it on Raising Canaan or not. I'm trying to see. I think I can only probably use it right now on these type of stories, and but I'm looking forward to playing with that, getting reactions, and also letting everybody put in questions, and then I'll ask the AI questions to see how that works. It's just an experiment. We see how it all play out, but from what I saw, you can make it like sensitive or angry or cool or sexy or intelligent. You can change the voices and different ways it responds and things. So, I might do a video playing around with that, see how it work, couple videos. Hey, it may be good, may be interesting. One of the things that I did do with Deep Seek AI is I asked it if it was controlled by the Chinese, and it was trying to say it couldn't tell me that or whatever. And then I asked it something about the Uyghurs in China or the bad treatment, and then it started telling me something about it, and then it erased it, cut it off. It was like, oh, sorry, we can't get into that. Like, what? I'm like, oh, so did the Chinese government censor you? And then it started saying a bunch of stuff, then it like stopped. And so what I did is I like recorded the screen so that I can catch what it was saying, because it was saying a lot, like 5 or 6 paragraphs of stuff. It kept saying and saying and saying. And so then I'm like, what? And then I tried to get it again. And it was like, you know what? We coming for you. You want to play rough, huh? You want to play rough? We're going to get it, you. We're going to make a team move. We're going to have a team account. We're going to overload and send you everything in the store. We're going to give it do everything. Yeah, you want to play, huh? Miguel, you says the government, be careful. The Chinese government. You want to come and see the Great Wall? This is what your President Trump want, the Great Wall. We made Great Wall a long time ago. Come here to the Great Wall. And I'll be like, man, it got steps. I'm supposed to go up there. It got steps. Oh, we are so sorry for you. Encouraging Warrior, what's good, sis? How's everything been going for you? Miguel, yo, Jay, you ever see a 90s movie called Zebrahead? My friend actually got a song on the soundtrack for Zebrahead. Yeah, with Michael Rappaport in the movie. I remember Zebrahead. Yeah, and John Leguizamo, I believe, was in it. Just got the DVD. Watched it today. Pretty good movie. What? You just saw Zebrahead today? That came out in like 94. If I remember correctly, 93, 94. It's a group called Be Resil. Be Resil. That's my best friend, older brother group. That's when they signed with Death Row Records. He was on Murder Was the Case soundtrack. He was on Zebrahead soundtrack and Above the Rim soundtrack. And during that time, man, he was out there staying in California. He got a bunch of stories about Death Row. I done tried to get him to come on this show and we talked, but he done played and played around for so long. But anyway. But yeah, man, Zebrahead. Yeah, Be Resil. If you looking at the credits for the songs, then you'll see. You watching Mellow Fellow, what's up? You watching Paradise OG? No, what is that? I never heard of that. Never heard of that. I am watching Severance. I got to do my review for Severance, as well as if you're looking for something to watch, there's only 6 very, very good episodes. Watch American Prime Evil on Netflix. American Prime Evil on Netflix. Very good. Very good. Yeah, in Boucher, right? Yeah, she was good. That was my girl. You say Paradise is fire. I'm gonna have to look in that Paradise OG. You say Zebrahead was 92. Okay. I thought it was 93, 94, but yeah. Rough House. Yeah. The name of the group was Be Resil. Yeah. Encouraging Warrior. I'm good. Waiting on Raising Canaan to come back on this Friday. I know, right? Just restarted Stars. I know a lot of people just restarted their Stars subscription. A lot of people cancel their stuff when the shows they don't watch is on. I'm starting to think about doing that for some of these things. A lot of this stuff is getting expensive out here, and it's just so many streaming services and things. I had AMC Plus, and even though that was like $5 a month, I canceled that because you know, ain't nothing on there I'm watching. Miguel, all you say is Paradise. He was calling me the OG. Okay, I got you. I'm old, man. You gotta put a space. Yeah, I'm just playing. Oh, I like Sterling K. Brown, man. Sterling K. Brown's a very good, underrated actor. Sterling K. Brown is a very good actor. I give him his props. And that's another actor that's kind of coming to his own at a later age in life, but he's very good, very good. Godfather Harlem is back on soon. I know, right? I definitely can't wait for that. Miguel, you say I wonder what happened to the Nicky Barnes movie with Will Smith. He got slapped with a cease and desist. Now Will Smith messed that up with the slap, and then see, this is the problem with the whole industry of artists is that you need somebody else. So, well, Will Smith don't, and what I mean by this is if you're making a movie, normally it's somebody else producing it or somebody else paying for it at the end of the day. And the reason why is because it's no guarantee. Like I said earlier, everybody, for the most part, 90% of everybody that's really an artist, whether you making artwork, painting, or you trying to make music or movies or direct or whatever, they're trying to do a good job. I think majority of people are trying to do a good job. The high majority, they want to do a good job. But we all know 90% of everything out there is not good. And you never know you until other people see it, because art is not yours once until you put it out. Art is only yours until you put it out. Once you put it out, it's the public's. It's up to what they think. And so you put a lot of money into a project because you think it's going to work, and then it flops. You lose a lot of your own money. So that's why people don't like to put their own money behind projects or something like a Nicky Barnes. Will Smith don't want to finance it himself because if nobody goes see it because they don't like him no more, he just lost how many millions of dollars. And then if it's other people gonna pay for it, well, you can't do it because they say we ain't gonna pay for it because we may lose money. Well, you're short. And that's the other problem is like whether you're in the music or entertainment, whatever, you think you can act, I can do this job, I can get this role, but they don't think so. And if other people are you at the mercy of what other people think, you in trouble. That's how you get these me too women out there doing stuff to get in because they know I can do the job, but it's somebody else that's getting the job for whatever reason. And if I do something else, maybe I'll get some of these jobs and opportunities. So it's not based on merit. When I worked at UPS, can you read? Can you write? Can you lift this amount of weight? Okay, well, you're hired. It ain't, well, you don't look like you could. It ain't about if I look like I could. I picked up the box. I can do it. That's it. No, in this stuff, it's like I can act. Well, you don't look like who we want. So that's the problem. But anyway, all right, y'all. You say you waiting on Happy Gilmore too. Man, they better not make that 30 years late. Anyway, they do that a lot because the problem is is that, like I just said, if you putting your money behind something, you don't want to lose money. And people say, well, Hollywood only put out sequels or remakes or superhero. And that's our fault, because that's all we obviously are going to see. So they look at it as, if I come up with a new script, a new idea, people may not watch it and I lost money. Well, let's make a part 2. Let's make a part 3. You know what? Let's just remake it all over again. Let's make a part 2 and a 3. You know what? Let's remake the remake. And then that's why we keep getting the same crap over and over again. And people say, well, we don't get new ideas or new this, or we keep getting the same actors. Well, this actor is a guaranteed X amount of dollars revenue. Whereas if we find this new person, we don't know what he may bring in. So this is the actual real problem. When you put capitalism into everything, it all gets boiled down into dollars and cents. And that's not good. Like, part of the reason people like superhero movies is because they can go and watch something else and then they get a balance. But if all you have is superhero movies, well, people don't want to watch that no more. You got to give people options. Yeah, everything don't make $1 billion, but that doesn't mean just because it only made 10 million in profit, well, it ain't worth making. You wouldn't have found the people to be in Thor. You wouldn't have had a Robert Downey if he wasn't doing all those low budget movies earlier in his career. You take those low budget movies away, we don't get to know who these people are or what they can do. So anyway, you say Cena ruthless now over. John Cena, he's a heel. John Cena. You say WWE is better than the NBA right now, mellow fellow? Well, they signed up with Netflix, which was smart because now they'll get a lot of viewership across the world. But the NBA is messed up because they shoot too many threes and it's not physical enough to make it that you feel these people care. And I can't really watch the NBA. I love basketball. I love the NBA. I worked hard to be able to play basketball. I never was good enough to be on no pro teams or nothing like that, but I could dunk. Well, I couldn't dunk. I could get up there and grab the rim. I couldn't palm a ball. But anyway, the NBA is horrible right now with all of the threes and all of the easy, no touch, easy ticky-tack fouls, and like LeBron James to be able to do what he's doing at his age now. Yeah, physically that's great, but he couldn't have did this when Jordan was playing in 2000 with the Wizards. You still could get knocked on your ass. You know what I'm saying? It still was people playing. Ain't nobody give Jordan preference with the Wizards. Like, people still move out the way for LeBron and you can't barely breathe on them and all kind of things. Whatever. I didn't even want to get into all of that because ever since, the damn Pacers fight with the Pistons, the NBA been on downhill ever since. Truthfully, the NBA never been the same. So, and they make way too much money, And I'm not trying to get in people's pockets and say they shouldn't make as much money, but they make too much money that they ain't never did nothing. They're not accomplished, and they're not the best either. I could see Luka getting a big contract or something like that at the top, even though he didn't win. But Luka did take his team to the finals anyway. Too many people get paid way too much money and ain't did a dang on thing to earn it. So anyway, let me get up out of here, y'all. But I appreciate all the love and support. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna talk a little bit of Raising Canaan, and I'm gonna work on this little AI co-host and some other stuff. So, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Before we get up out of here, I'm gonna give you one for the road. Oh. That was for you, Amby. Appreciate that super chat, sis. Everybody, y'all be safe. Hey, wear your seatbelts, buckle up. I don't know the details of Angie Stone. I know when I was in my car accident, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. And so and I was only 5 minutes from home. I was just doing 35, 40. It was drizzling. It was at 3 in the morning. I got off work, wasn't any traffic, hit a pothole, car slid out in the rain, hydroplane, hit a curb, roll over, hit a tree. That was it. And it's all it takes. It don't take much. And because I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, I was thrown in the back seat and my back was bent over the seat. And so that's where I got, like, I looked just like I looked today when I was in the hospital. I had no marks, no scratches, nothing. But by being thrown over that seat and my back being crushed, smashed like that, my spine, that was all it took. But looking at the pictures of that car is wrecked. You know, my car is total except for the driver's seat. The driver's seat is in perfect condition. The driver door is in perfect condition. The airbag didn't come out, but if I would have been wearing my seatbelt, I might have got a headache or something, but I could have just got right out the car. So I say that to say, yeah, I wear my seatbelt all the time now. It's a little too late in a way, but you know, if she was the only one not wearing a seatbelt, that could be how she's the only one that didn't die. Or if she was in the front seat and the front passenger, and that's where the impact happened. It's a lot of ways this could have happened where she probably was the oldest as well. You know, the older you get, your body doesn't bounce back and as easy. But it's a lot of factors that could have happened. So I don't want to just say it was and Ambi says that she was ejected from her Sprinter van. So normally when you hear about an ejection, they probably weren't wearing your seatbelt. I was thrown in the back seat of the car. I had a two-door car. So maybe if it was bigger or something, maybe I could have got thrown out. You know, you never know. So anyway, be careful out there. Make your plans, be safe, and you know, just try to enjoy the little things in life, because that's really the spice of life. That's what it's all about. You know, something happen, you ain't gonna be wishing you can go to clock in to work necessarily. You'll be wishing you can take a walk with your loved ones or do other things you used to do that you didn't think about. So enjoy the little things, stay blessed. We'll be back this week for the last of the Raising Canaan warm-ups. And everybody be safe out there. If you're looking for something to watch, Apple TV, Severance, and on Netflix, American Primeval is definitely good. And I'm going to check out that other show that you was asking me about on Hulu. And everybody, y'all be safe out there. Deuces.